the labor rights. But in practice, actually, workers are advised not to protest, right? They cannot increase their wages. They cannot go on strike. Theoretically, yes, but it doesn't happen. Okay, so my point is like, and that means fear. And capitalism, liberal capitalism, feeds on people's fear of losing their jobs, of not being able to pay their mortgage.
Feed themselves? No.
Well, because more fear there is among people, the society as a whole can be, kept stable, right? Because if you're afraid of losing your job, or that if you lose your job, you have no income whatsoever. The day you leave out of the office, you have no income, right? Then you think twice before doing anything that would jeopardize your, job, whatever that job is. No matter how satisfied or dissatisfied you are with the job.
That's apparently why it keeps going.
Yes, exactly. And people
crisis,
having no health insurance, or the health insurance being too expensive, right? So you try to cling to what you have, that job and that wages, because once you give it up, you are on your own and your family.
Okay,
So,
isn't the Scandinavian model something like that?
I think so, but that's why they have high taxes, right? And for example,
The safety net, right? So they have unemployment insurance.
They're all rich. They are not
yes, and they're they have high standard of living. That is true.
They're full with immigrants now.
Well, all of Europe is.
They're not
Are they?
bearing children anymore, and they
Well, I think it's interesting what you've brought up, Sonia. So it seems like there are at least two ways to look at this. There's from a human perspective and from the perspective of commodity. So you can maybe possibly unionize all of the workers so they can fight for better wages, better health care, stuff like that. But then also, I wanted to finish this list that I had. First one, standards on how long a product should last. Second one, how much pollution it creates. Like if it creates too much pollution in making it, like if you have to mine the coal and then burn the coal and then make the product and mine the steel and all this stuff, maybe it would cost more. It would be more prohibitive. Or the cost would be, the cost of production would be included in the cost of buying it, so it would be prohibitive to consume. How much money is made by the people who actually make it. Maybe that would also be included in the price of the product. So, the people who work in the factories would actually get a decent wage, and that's partly what you were talking about. How far the product has to travel. Right now the system is set up for mass amounts of stuff being created on one side of the world and then shipped around to the other side of the world when it's not really necessary, and how recyclable it is. If a product is less recyclable, there should be some higher tax on it or something like that. But we only have a few more minutes. Does anybody have some other things they'd like to add?
I don't know. If no one has, then I would say an anecdote.
Go ahead.
I think it was when I was a student, and one of my professors, he said that during the socialist times in the East, in the West, everybody was afraid to study Marx, because they would be like, you are a communist, They were studying secretly. They didn't study because they were communists, but they just wanted to know what's his theory. And then after the socialism broke down in the East, then everybody took the books. In the capitalist West, everybody took Marx.
Now we can read.
Now we can read. Now it's okay.
So what do you think about when Zizek said that knowledge is anti-capitalist?
That is the weird thing with the internet. People are just producing awesome things, just sharing them all the time, knowledge, entertainment, all sorts of stuff like that. And there is a weird communism sort of thing going on. Just give and enjoy other people's just giving. It's happy. But it comes down to the things.
The last question: the blue or the red pill?
I'm with the guys who say I want the third pill for sure. I always want the third. Always.
What the red pill is the one that
It's
is communism?
Basically, Wonderland. Yeah.
One is the one
Basically
that you're comforting
revolution.
the way it is. Yeah. The other one's waking up to see reality.
Yeah.
So I've had one last thing to say. Actually, is an active, vocal, and challenging society an academic one? Do people have to be educated about history and politics and science to be able to be active, vocal, and challenging?
No.
No? Why?
Because if history repeats itself, but also if you come from a place of being and a place of being in the now, and you forget the past and you don't work for the future, maybe you can create something new that hasn't been thought of.
Maybe. I mean, you said it, maybe. But I'm just saying, actually, that came out of something that was in the movie. Somebody said, like, something like active, vocal, and challenging society is something. And my question was, is it an academic one? Does it need to be an academic one? And if your answer is no, I can agree with that. Like, obviously, it's not only academics that can argue these kinds of things. But are there things that we need to be specifically educated about to be effectively vocal, active, and challenging?
I think people should have the right and access to any sort of
Information.
Yeah, and also to be the education should serve more kind of like an initiator of thinking, rather than a process in which you collect information that you might use if you possibly get this or that kind of job, but more to educate people to question, like that girl said, Nina Power, easy name to remember. Yeah, that she said people should be free to question, even to be sarcastic about reality and things. And I think
Or should be encouraged.
Encouraged, yes.
I want to say one more thing. I think that the danger with some education sometimes is it can be manipulated. People are manipulated into a certain structure that the society as a whole wants people to be, and a lot of the information that you're getting in the history is biased. So it's not necessarily going to be where you should fight from. The danger of being uneducated and speaking up for what you want is you'll be attacked by the people who are educated for not stating things correctly, for not stating the dates correctly. They can easily be pushed down because they don't have this, and this. They don't sound like the social role model that everyone wants you to fit into. But the whole thing is about breaking that structure. So I guess you need more people standing behind the newer perspective, newer relevance.
God.